Good morning, everyone. It is the 7th of May, and well, my youngest, most feral's like, "It's my birthday month." And I was like, "You get a birthday. Look, we're not doing a month-long thing with you with cake." Good morning, Wolfram. Thank you for all of your Modly Mod duties. Good morning, Christine. And I have my favorites, Lori Ann, Jason J. Oh, well, it's my favorite holiday then. Get your bail money ready. Tammy CA and Star, good morning. I'm glad you are going to have a beautiful day. It looks like it's going to rain here today. The leg feels it. The sky looked red this morning. Now, being from the famously landlocked Indiana, I don't know if, red in the morning, sailor take warning, red at night, sailor delight, has anything to do with reality because, being from the famous naval colony of Indiana. For those of you not in America, Indiana is landlocked and in the daggone center of the country. So why we would take sailing warnings to indicate weather, I don't know. That being said, I don't typically do the whole craziness in the world thing, but this is a fairly big story. I am not, I know this is going to be shocking. I am not an expertologist on Indian Pakistani relations. So I'm just telling you, it looks like there are some kerfuffles going on between India and Pakistan, and I'll just try to give you a little bit of a rundown. Again, I not a expert in international politics. Now, India did fire missiles into the Pakistani-controlled territory of, I think, Kashmir. Uh, that kind of area in several locations on Wednesday, according to Pakistani officials, killing at least 26 people. Now, it's what Pakistan is calling an act of war. This was in retaliation for India suffering losses from just an attack of the tea kind of variety in the Indian controlled part of Kashmir. It looks like it's a lot of stuff, a lot of water rights, a lot of things. I would recommend going to channels that actually do act like real news with this stuff. But it is a bit worrying because both of these states are nuclear powers who have giant hate boners for each other. So make of that what you will. I do hope that there can be a relatively peaceful sort of solution to this, but it's news and this is what it is. Hopefully, we can find a solution that doesn't involve, all of us ending up having to use iodized salt. I don't know. Look, they've been fighting for years since India was partitioned, so I doubt that we're going to see a cease to the hostilities in my lifetime. Well, it looks like we might be getting closer to some answers to the Madeleine McCann case. Now, this is still very spotty. This is coming out of Germany. This is the potential German suspect who might have confessed. But we are getting more. I, again, do not know how the German sort of justice system works as far as, you know, getting the information out, what is private, what is not. And thank you, Jedi Jess. Look, I had to stop myself from going to buy another box of Mike and Ike's, and I was like, "I'll just be a cat." A hard drive found at the suspect's factory, quote, "is purported to contain evidence that Madeline McCann is unfortunately no longer with us," which means that that crazy Polish chick who keeps saying she is, ma'am, step away. A hard drive found in a disused factory bought by prime suspect in the Madeleine McCann investigation purports to contain evidence that she is in fact no longer with us. Uh, German prosecutors believe that Christian Bruckner unalived the 3-year-old after she vanished during a family holiday at Praia da Luz, Portugal in 2007. Now, the drive was discovered in 2016 at a disused factory, which Bruckner bought for about 20,000 pounds in 2008. Well, if he bought a factory in Germany, why is he paying in pounds? Isn't that euros? I don't know why that struck me as the thought to have. Now, investigators have also found an insurance document which proves that the suspect was at a music festival where he was said to have confessed to unaliving Madeline. Now, this is the douche in question. He does look a bit like Hans Gruber, so I have no problem if he is found to have taken out Madeline. Nakatomi Towers, we need a new advent calendar next year. I'm good with it. That being said, this is why I'm not in charge of anything. Now, witness Heigl B. claims that Bruckner told him that, quote, she didn't scream, but questions his credibility. Um, and if this actually happened, again, we have heard about this gentleman for a long time. If you keep up with the Madeline McCann case, we've had these sort of, he's confessed, he's got pictures, he's got this, and yet the case never seems to move forward. Now, children's clothes, toys, and other like children kind of paraphernalia was said to have been found in the abandoned property alongside masks, chemicals, and force multipliers. Now, the German police also discovered 6 USB sticks and 2 memory cards in a wallet. The evidence was detected by a dog in 2016. In one, the suspect described drugging a mother and daughter outside a nursery school, while another spoke of human grossness against a 4-year-old girl. Now, Skype conversations with other gross human beings were also discovered, including one where he said he wanted to capture something small and use it for Nakatomi towers for all of these gross people. Like, elect me Empress of the Pettyverse for just one day, and we will do nothing but Nakatomi Tower drops, okay? Sorry. Had a little moment, but talking about a small children, no. Now, the abuse images range from children from the age of 4 to 5, and mostly they were females. Uh, Now, police unearthed more than 75 swimming costumes alongside toys and small bikes. Satellite navigation also shows that Bruckner may have been in Alvergard in the years after Madeline disappeared. Now, the claims went full air with Channel 4 documentary on Wednesday night. Representative for Bruckner were contacted but did not comment. So again, gross human being, Nakatomi counter drop or tower drops just for the Lenten season, just for 1 year. Like, I will abdicate my throne, keeping all of the tiaras and the wigs. After 1 year, look, I don't want power, I want justice. That being said, we have a better, more human story, which is good. The power of video actually helped exonerate a man who was being charged with alleged child grossness. A man spent 45 days in jail accused of trying to abduct a child at Walmart. A judge granted a bond after the lawyer showed a video. Uh, Mahendra Patel, who is facing attempted kidnapping and other charges after a mother accused him of trying to grab her 2-year-old son from her in a Georgia Walmart, has been granted a $10,000 bond after being held in a Cobb County jail for about 45 days. I'm going to grant this man a bond. He's entitled to a bond, Cobb County Superior Court Judge A. Gregory Poole said in a court on Tuesday. Now, Patel was later released that day. Now, Patel's lawyer, Ashley Merchant, presented her case as to why he should be released by showing the judge a compilation of security footage that she subpoenaed from Walmart and shared with media outlets, including CNN. They showed the March 18th incident at the Walmart in the city of Ackworth, about 30 miles northwest of Atlanta. Now, Perchant said that Patel was just trying to make sure the boy didn't fall from the scooter his mother was riding with him on her lap. I'm done. That's it. The news has just terrified me for the further evolution of human capacity mentally. I'm done. Now, Patel had support of numerous people who were in another room at the courthouse, including friends, relatives, and neighbors. The attorney told the judge, the footage is somewhat grainy, and Patel's back obscures part of what is happening. Prosecutors argued that the video shows Patel grab the child and he shouldn't have, and then he fled. Now, Merchant contended that Patel did not flee the scene and that he has strong ties to the community, such as property ownership, a wife and daughters, volunteering at local nonprofits, and being a member of organizations such as the Kiwanis Club. Now, Cobb County Assistant, District Attorney Jesse Evans said that Patel was previously convicted of a felony for financial, schemes and arrested for the suspicion of a DUI. So again, it's going to be a classic he said, she said, but don't ride around with kids on those little daggone, motor carts. They're not safe. I am a menace on one of those. Look, this even before I got hurt, youngest most feral may have been a really hard pregnancy for me, so I was kind of on bed rest for a lot of it, and I realize I have no spatial distance awareness skills. Like, my ability to perceive where I am in relation to those little end of the aisle displays is beyond negative 10,000. So, out of the kindness of my heart and respect for all retail workers, of whom I was one, I keep my behind off of those carts because I destroyed 2 displays and I was like, "This is obviously not my sport, and I don't wanna make a big mess for someone else to have to clean up." So, but whoever needs to know, don't let your kid play on those, they're not toys. They're not, and they're real fast or they lose charge in the middle of the store, so they are more hassle. All the displays. I have no spatial awareness. It's terrible. Like, Mr. Mo would have to say, like, "You can turn now, you've cleared it." And I'm like, "Oh, okay," because I just look, I'm a great driver, those carts, not so good. So look at this one being a he said, she said. I do wonder if Walmart doesn't have better, cameras considering how many people they catch shoplifting. But there you go. I have no idea what to make of this particular story, but I figured, like everyone, when you find a weird headline, I wanted to share it with you guys. Lawyers for the glamorous leaders of One Taste, the orgasm cult, okay, accused of grooming members, insist that the victims were having a blast. Well, I mean, if it is an occult, I guess you should at least be having some sort of fun. I would think. I would hope. I hope it's not the Fake-O Club. I mean, where you're just faking it. The glamorous leaders, question mark. Aren't they possible cult leaders? Do we wanna call them glamorous? Of the embattled wellness company that promoted orgasmic meditation, offered members yoga with a twist in a consensual setting. The alleged victims are now ashamed of their, smexy yoga. Their lawyers insisted as the scorching federal trial kicked off in New York. Apparently, there's another cult in New York. New York gets all the fun federal trials. They're now married and have kids and don't want their neighbors to know what they were doing in their 20s. Jennifer Bongine, who represents the orgasm cult One Taste founder Nicole Dindon, told the 12-person jury during opening statements in the U.S. District Court in Brooklyn Tuesday afternoon. At the time, they were having a blast. Grown people make grown decisions that they don't want to stand by. The trial comes nearly 2 years after Dedonde and the controversial company's former head of sales, Rachel Sherwitz, were accused of grooming members into having smex with investors and clients in a flagrant scheme that ran for 14 years until it ended in 2018. How have I never heard of this? Possibly because I hate yoga. I heard orgasm cult, I was like, "Yes," and I was heard that there's yoga involved. No. Now, they were each charged with conspiracy to commit forced labor after prosecutors alleged that the duo ran the business like a cult, recruiting those who had endured prior trauma with claims that they could fix their sexual suffering and dysfunction. Now, prosecutors alleged that the duo then forced members and employees into debt and subjected them to economic, sexual, emotional, and psychological abuse, as well as surveillance, indoctrination, and intimidation. So, high school with the mean girls? I mean, they worked because they were taught that the way to enlightenment was to obey the defendant's commands, Assistant U.S. Attorney Sean Fern told the court, noting that many worked 7 days a week. They worked because they were told doing things they found disgusting was the path to freedom. They coerced their victims to provide sexual service to one taste clients. So they're running a brothel. Wonderful. This is how you get final form Jesus. You want final form Jesus down here? This is how we get final form Jesus, y'all. The defense is painting their alleged victims as disgruntled former employees and members who relished in the smecks that they were having, but have since become embarrassed of their past. Well, I mean, yeah, I've done some things in my 20s I wouldn't shout about, but embarrassed to the point of going to court to have to tell everyone about this. That's what these so this argument kind of falls flat to me because in order for if they are so ashamed and embarrassed and, want to distance themselves from their past, they wouldn't take you to court because they wouldn't want to talk about it. So you can't like this can't be the same thing. Do we not understand? Now, they pressed that the sexually explicit meditation, described as peaceful mindfulness practice, had no bearing on whether staff at the contentious startup were forced to work there. What is up with these women and these faces? No one put a force multiplier against anyone's head to make them work. They stayed because they believed in the company, Cherowitz's attorney, Mike Ropty, said, claiming that members were seeking spiritual awakening through orgasmic meditation. They were having fun and they were having sex. The exit door was always open. The company has since fallen from grace in 2018 when more than 35,000 people attended its in person events. They were endorsed by Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop website, and Didon delivered a viral TED talk encouraging skeptical attendees to try out orgasmic meditation. Now, One Taste was also the subject of a 2022 documentary called Orgasm Inc. Okay, thank you. Well, Mo, thank you for your part in helping me reach a healthy weight BMI. Goal met, laughter is such an important factor. Well, thank you so much for letting me part of your journey. It's I will tell you guys that for a long time, there were a lot before I started streaming and I first got hurt. There were so many streams that just got me through the day. And I am so grateful that I'm at a place where I can pay it forward. So thank you so much for the super chat. And I'm glad that I'm helping you. I love working out to streams. It seems to keep my attention off the fact that I'm walking to nowhere or, bicycling to nowhere or lifting weights in my basement. So this was a Netflix documentary that I might check out called Orgasm Inc. that detailed some of the allegations that are now part of the criminal case. Now, if they are convicted, both Didond and Sherowitz face a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison. Now, this trial is expected to last as long as 6 weeks. And the Canton case, I don't think will ever end. Who are we calling today? Father Time, the milkman, and a chick who ran a petting zoo once? I mean, I don't know. Well, we all have different motivators. In a good for humanity, I hope she is okay, but this is incredibly scary. I'm not gonna Oh, so you can kind of see her here. This is the a state senator for Florida, and it looks like she passed out, and good on the Surgeon General for noticing that she was falling out. So, Florida's Surgeon General, saved the day when he leapt in as a state senator fainted during a presser. Florida English Surgeon General saved the day after Senator Ilana Garcia fainted midway through a press conference by springing into action and catching her before. Well, now we have crazy robots before she fell. The scary scene unfolded Tuesday as Garcia joined Governor Ron DeSantis and other lawmakers on stage in Miami to discuss plans for a statewide ban on water fluoridization. Now, I'm not too big into whatever Florida does, whatever they do, but I did want to point out that while I'm not a fan of any politicians, it is nice to see a gentleman catch a lady who's fainting and, actually know what to do, like a doctor, because he is one. So I just like saying, hey, we can all, not be all douchebags to each other once in a while. Water fluorinization. Yes. Well, don't you know fluoride, they wanna see if they can take the fluoride out of the water because of our pineal glands. If we didn't, atrophy our pineal glands, we'd all be, telekinetic like 11 from, Stranger Things, or at least that's what some places on the internet have told me. So, you know, I don't know, but there you go. Well, I think he's gonna have to wait to see if her lawyers and his lawyers can make anything out of that. But we have entered the best or worst part of the show, introducing all of those who make it impossible for us to achieve enlightenment, the genetic dead ends, and unfortunate people who refuse to take a Darwin Award for humanity. We summon Lord Chippy. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do. Now, one of my favorite movies is Hot Shots Part Deux because, well, it's probably the only sequel that has outshone, its predecessor. But what in the wily coyote am I looking at here? Capable of detonating, a man allegedly hurled a live grenade with the safety pin partially removed as he fled from cops in a stolen car. What in the Grand Theft Auto is going on here? California troopers who retrieved a bag thrown from a stolen car that was fleeing cops made a surprising and potentially explosive discovery: a live grenade. Now, the revelation caused an evacuation of nearby homes and required the bomb squad to come out and safely remove the device. Now, according to a press release, the incident unfolded just after about 3:30 p.m. Friday when troopers with the California Highway Patrol spotted a stolen vehicle near 38th Street and Centero Avenue in Oakland. Now, they tried to pull the vehicle over, but the driver, later identified as 28-year-old Carlos Cugia, actually fled or allegedly fled. Well, let me see. If I'm driving around in a stolen car, am I gonna pull over for a traffic violation? I don't know. The pursuit continued into the city of Berkeley. Troopers said that, he approached as he approached the intersection of Martin Luther King Jr. Way and Rose Street, he threw out a bag, out of the car. Now, a trooper who was in the area but not involved in the chase stopped to collect the bag, and upon looking inside, he observed what appeared to be a grenade with the safety pin partially removed. Now, Chip notified the bomb squad from the nearby University of California, Berkeley. Why does the University of California, Berkeley have a bomb squad? Shit in California is crazy. Okay. They determined that the grenade was live and, in fact, capable of detonating. Meanwhile, the suspect allegedly ditched his stolen car and started to run away, but was quickly taken into custody. Now, police did evacuate nearby homes as they searched his vehicle for potentially like sticks of dynamite. I don't know, like a little Acme thing. I mean, good night. Just what is going on in California? Now, uh, Kujaya's Berkeley home was also searched, along with nearby homes being evacuated, but nothing was found. So apparently, he only had one grenade. Uh, okay, you guys, little bit of a sidetrack, but I have been addicted to these AI voice, like Reddit fake stories. And the only problem with using an AI voice for Reddit fake stories is that they always use the frame or the phrase like you could hear, the pin drop from a grenade. Unfortunately, they call it a grenade because, well, apparently AI doesn't understand bow, grenade, and several other words. But now every time I hear that word, I think grenade because 'cause I'm classy and or AI. Now, he has been found he is being held on a $490,000 bond, so I don't know if he's gonna get out, but he is scheduled to appear in court on Tuesday, so wait that. Squid pro quo, we have to read them and then judge if we're the asses. We can do this. We have voices. I read Reddit. I like drama that isn't my own, and judging people, it's like my job. And she just looks like a super happy, sweet woman, and then she gave birth to this dumpster human who looks like he needs to be on Perfect Strangers with, Cousin Larry. It's well, no, he is Cousin Larry. Where is Balky? Damn it. Get to the plea section. A man who laid hands on his mother to the point that he unalived her with a shovel, then stuffed her into a garbage can, was getting a little, pissed off that people were talking about the victim when he was supposed to be pleading. I mean, won't someone think of cousin Larry's feelings? Cops in Mississippi have arrested a man after he allegedly laid his hands on his mother to death and then also used a shovel and threw her body in a trash can. Now, officers from the Tupelo Police Department conducted a welfare check at the village's subdivision off of Cooley Road on April 29th. When they arrived, they found the victim, 62-year-old Sherry West Lazor, dead. Now, police arrested her 30-year-old son, Joshua D. Lazor, on a first-degree murder charge. Additional details came out during a bond hearing on April 30th. According to a courtroom report from the Tupelo Daily News, a detective testified that when the younger Lazor answered the door when officers knocked, cops asked where his mother was, and he took him to the backyard where they found her body in a trash can. Now, Joshua Lazor reportedly admitting to unaliving his mom. In addition to being severely beaten, she suffered stab wounds. Just Sir, Imma send you to the center of the it is too damn close to Mother's Day, and your mom looks like a nice, happy, smiley woman, naturally beautiful, doesn't have a lot of makeup on, like the woman I wanna grow up to be when I grow up and possibly am an adult and not wearing cat ears. But still, like, your mom looks like the put together person I pretend to be on a daily basis, and ugh, just ugh. Probably spent 150 hours with your big, stupid pumpkin head, and you had to do this. Now, during the bond hearing, the defendant apparently appeared ready to accept his responsibilities. Quote, I would like to waive my right to an attorney and get to the plea section, Lazor reportedly said, adding that he wanted to represent himself. Well, bon voyage, moron. I never wanted to meet you. Now, Judge Willie Allen prevented him from speaking any further, reportedly saying that this was a hearing just to set bond and any plea deal would be handled at a further date. Allen denied his bond. Shockingly, he remains at the Lee County Jail. Now, as the Daily News noted, Joshua Lazor has previously been arrested for destroying the lobby of the Lee County Sheriff's Office. Now, the agency said at the time that he entered the lobby and tried to turn himself in to jail authorities. Deputies said that he had no active warrants, so they sent him away. He returned again a few hours later and tried to have police arrest him. After they kicked him out yet again, he returned and threw a chair at two TVs, destroying them. He also threw a computer on the floor, giving him that, arrestable felony he wanted for destruction of property. Now, Lazor pled guilty to that incident and was sentenced to probation. Now, Sherry Lazor worked for 30 years at the Tupelo Public School District before retiring in 2012. She was a great teacher who people loved and adored. A spokesperson, Greg Ellis, told the outlet, is a huge loss for Tupelo Public Schools and the Tupelo community. Sir, don't drop the soap, drop the soap. I don't care, but you're going to be someone's wife, so have fun. Bon voyage, douchebag. See ya. Now, Imma give y'all a little bit. Come over to Mama Mo. Get near the cat ears. Don't try this with a hillbilly woman because you will end up perforated, okay? Do not try this with a hillbilly woman. A man hid in his his ex-girlfriend's shower with a knife and no pants on or underpants on as part of a prank, which would include a fake stabbing attack. Now again, uh, I'm warning you to not do this in rural areas. You will not come back because if she doesn't get you, her mom and them will. And her mom and them can include, and I do mean include, everyone from the postmaster to like a guy passing through town. Mom and them will be after you. So do not. This is how you end up, carried by your six closest relatives. All right. Allegedly in Minecraft, do not try this. Now, I go into the full windmill defense. So I am middle schooling my way out of here with this one, but I'm just saying, for public safety, don't do this unless you wanna end up with additional, hole punches in you. A South Carolina man thought it would be a great idea to prank his ex-girlfriend by allegedly creeping into her house, hiding with a knife in her bathroom shower where he lurked and waited for her to come home, all while wearing no pants or underwear. Huh, sweetheart, I don't know where you're from, and it says South Carolina, but this is not Canton, damn Massachusetts. We do not, like, just destroy the truth and insert our own little narrative. Uh, sure, sure, it was prank. His face was also concealed by a pair of biker shorts. It's in an attempt to surprise the woman and lighten, the mood after a text message spat. Now, Jackson Arnold, 25, was arrested and booked Sunday on charges of assault and battery of a high and aggravated nature, first degree burglary, and the possession of a weapon during a violent crime. Excuse me. He is accused of sneaking into his ex's home on Westway Drive in Charleston through the detached garage apartment when she was not home. Now, he allegedly hid in the victim's shower with a pair of bike shorts, concealing his face until she returned to the residence, according to an arrest report obtained by WCBD. He was allegedly in a possession of a knife, though it's unclear what kind. Now, police say that Arnold exited the shower after his ex-girlfriend arrived home and allegedly set upon her, using the knife to imitate stabbing and slicing her on her throat. He allegedly held the knife up toward the side of his head at one point, causing the victim to push Arnold away. The knife did not make contact with her at any time during the alleged incident. Sir, one day, and I know fairly shortly, you are going to experience what it will be like to be attacked in a shower. Now, I hope you understand that this is just a prank. And I hope you take it as the lighthearted jesting that you're trying to suggest this is, because, if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. So I hope when, Bubba happens to prank you in the shower, allegedly in Minecraft, I hope you start giggling because sure as shit I will. Now, police say after that encounter, Arnold tossed the knife on the floor and started choking his ex with his hand, causing her to stop breathing. The victim was able to remove the front shorts from the unknown male's face and figure out that it was her ex boyfriend. Arnold allegedly told the woman he was pranking her and he just wanted to talk. She allegedly ran into the main house and asked the family there to call 911. Arnold is being held at the Al Cannon Detention Center and awaits his initial court appearance. The proceedings will be scheduled for June 19th. So, I'm sorry, bro, but are you getting pranked right now? You're not Ashton Kutcher. Stop it. What a douche. I thought that I was, not so great to myself, but this man apparently lets himself get bit by, venomous snakes because he is finding cures. He is making anti-venom, but still, I thought I was a masochist. This man beats me. I've let hundreds of venomous snakes bite me on purpose. It's painful and it put me in a coma, but there's a medical upside. Imma need you to explain this real slow like I'm 5 year old and stupid, but do what now? A Wisconsin herpetologist, Tim Freed, 57, spent 2 decades deliberately injecting himself with more than 650 strategically measured snake venom shots, and letting dangerous snakes, including cobras and mambas, bite him over 200 times. It always burns and it's always painful. Well, okay, so is the clap, but we have penicillin. I mean, I don't understand why you're doing this. He in trying to make himself immune to 16 lethal snake species, Freed developed unique antibodies in his blood that are being used as antivenom. A study published last week in the Journal of Cell found that a cocktail of two of his antibodies and an inflammatory drug fully protected mice against lethal venom from 13 snake species and partially protected the mice from six more species. Now, venomous snake bites happen to nearly 3 million people a year, killing up to 138,000 and causing many more to suffer permanent disabilities. Freed's self experimentation may one day lead to a universal antivenom to neutralize all these toxins. Again, really not sure how you got into this hobby, sir. Like, at what level of drink were you at when you're like, you know what? I wonder if I can make myself immune to snake bites. I'm just gonna start letting them bite me. Now, the Times reported that Freed's first snake bite was a garter snake at the age of 5. I'm really proud of what I can do for humanity to make difference for people that are 8,000 miles away that I'm never going to meet, never going to talk to, and never going to see probably, Freed told the New York Times. Now, he's hunted snakes since he was a kid and, basically scaled up his passion at the age of 30 by taking classes on milking spiders and scorpions in hopes of garnering a career collecting venom for medical research. Who do you need a hug, sir? Like, why? Like, I just feel like someone should get you a chia pet as a friend too. After a brief dalliance with scorpions, he turned his attentions to snakes in 2000, and the rest is history. He would milk the venom and then inject increasingly larger amounts into his body to create, immunity. I have my favorites. I am getting ready to make this weekend Mr. Mo. Okay, I have to go off topic cuz okay, so Mr. Mo finally found out that he is in fact going to be able to do his early retirement leave from his job right now. So this morning I have 3 boys who are ready for school to be done. They've got less than 2 to 3 weeks left of school. I've got a husband who is ready to be done with work, and so he can stay here. And this morning, it was like trying to get cats ready to go. Like, "You need to get dressed, and you need to brush your teeth, and husband, I love you very much. Could you watch the children, people? Just because 'cause they're all ready to be done, and I totally, totally get that, but this morning, we are all ADHD. I am one ADHD shepherd trying to get a bunch of cats with ADHD to do something, and it was just a hot mess express. We all got dressed, we all got to our respective job areas, but it was just like, "Do we still have school?" And I was like, "Sweetheart, yes, you still have school. Husband, you still have work. Mo, you still have stuff." It was just one of those days. So he began professional bites in September 2001 when he tried to milk an Egyptian cobra and accidentally got bitten in the finger. He survived because he had been microdosing the cobra's venom for months. Overly confident at cheating death, he let a monocled cobra bite his bicep. Now, this time, medics had to revive him with 6 vials of antivenom from the zoo, and he spent 4 days in a coma. I really need you to explain why, sir. My first couple bites were really crazy, he said, according to NPR. It feels like a bee sting times 10,000. I mean, you have levels of anxiety that are going through the roof. Uh, Now, Fried's viper testing drew the attention of immunologist Jacob Gainville, who reached out in 2017. We had this conversation, and I said, "I know it's awkward, but I'm really interested in looking at some of your blood," Gainville said to CNN. And he said, "Finally, I've been waiting for this call." Now, Fried's blood sample paved the way for new research. He now works for Gainville's biotech company Centavax, and is no longer smitten about being bitten. His final snake bite was from a water cobra in 2018. Tim, to my knowledge, he has an unparalleled history. It's very different, very diverse species from every continent that has snakes. He just kept rotating between the snake venoms, and over a 17-year time, he was taking meticulous records. Again, Canton, can I talk to you for a moment? And really just looking at all the different components. So, it was put out here as a final warning. We do not encourage anyone to bite themselves, to get special snake proofness. Don't do it. I don't know why he did it. I'm glad he's helping people, but I'm like, "Why?" It's like when I look at my youngest, most feral, and I'm like, it's a just why? Just why? And in our final story, well, I did not know that there was a feminine health juice, that works solely on your lady bits. I don't wanna know where this juice goes, and I will not be trying this for science or otherwise. This viral feminine health juice supposedly has a ton of benefits, but will it work magic for your lady bits? I mean, the world needs to this can't be where are you putting that juice, ma'am? I'm afraid. The latest at-home wellness beverage is a feminine health juice, a colorful, fruity concoction that promises everything from better, well, down there smells to fewer infections and even boosting your libido. Now, while pineapples and cranberries make up the base of this juice, you can play around with other ingredients from there. One TikTok creator who goes by Wellness with Charms adds pomegranate, which research shows can benefit female reproductive health thanks to antioxidants, antimicrobial properties, and high water content. Yet another TikToker incorporates pomegranate, which is shown to possibly have some estrogen like effects that can increase, well, again, your lady business parts. Now, for the love of all that is holy. I do not recommend this, but according to a TikToker named Naomi Robinson, if you want your man to worship the ground you walk on, drink this. It's her special blend of unsweetened cranberry juice, pineapple juice, and cinnamon. Add vodka and you got me, sweetheart. It's the lack of booze that's really killing it for me. It's a strong promo, but does it live up to the hype, or is this just another case of people mixing shit together and calling it science? From a medical perspective, I don't think any of these combinations of juice will work magic for your lady lips, said an OBGYN who actually went to medical school. Certainly, the fruits themselves contain antioxidants and vitamins, which are important for the body. And of course, hydration is important. But, you can't just like send nutrients to where you want them to go. If we could, every woman would be like a size 20 waist, we would be our own sizes. Like, this is ridiculous. However, the concern is a lot of the high sugar content in a lot of these juices, which could lead to an imbalance in your lady areas. So don't drink a lot of juice. It's more beneficial, in her opinion, the actual doctor, to, eat just regular fruit and, not drink juice. So the survey is out. I don't know, and I won't be trying out for science whether these, will actually keep your lady business happy. So there you go. TikTok bringing us health. I weep for humanity. As always, you guys, thank you for joining me as we look at the headlines, true crime, and the absurd on the internet. I am going to be sending you guys over. We will be, well, we're back on Karen Reed. It's all Karen Reed all the time, and we have no idea who we're calling. I am guessing the lady from the petting zoo, possibly a lunch lady, and maybe someone who works at a Costco today on the witness, stand. But those are just my guesses. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, but have a sassy mouth and carry a can of bitch fire because we got people out here letting snakes bite them. We got people out here pranking with, assaults. So be safe. Bye, you guys.